Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're taking a helicopter view of the key points from issue 1 of the One Idea, yep, that's pronounced One Idea, newsletter. We're going to deconstruct the true anatomy of transformation. You know, looking at that incredible journey from a single fleeting spark of imagination all the way to a fully realized, world-altering execution. Let's dive in. So I want you to take just a brief second and actually look around you right now. Seriously, stop and look at your environment. Whether you're sitting in an office chair, holding a smartphone, or maybe just looking out a window at a busy street, I want you to consider where every single man-made object you see actually came from. Because before it was built, before it was manufactured, or even sketched on a napkin, it was just a thought. Just a thought in someone's mind. Literally every physical structure surrounding us right now is the exact endpoint of an idea. And notice how perfectly this maps onto our everyday environment. I mean, a towering skyscraper, it's not just steel and glass, right? It's an idea of commerce built directly into the skyline. That airplane flying overhead, it's the physical manifestation of a human thought about defying gravity. Even the smartphone in your hand is the endpoint of someone's desire for instant global connection. Your entire environment is, well, it's basically a massive museum of executed ideas. Section 1. Defining your core catalyst. But of course, just having the idea is only the very first microstep. An idea without a driving force, it's never going to leave the confines of your mind. It needs fuel. It needs a massive why behind it to push it past the heavy friction of reality. Now, there are generally 4 distinct catalysts that drive people to act. First, there's impact, the desire to change the world or give back to society in a meaningful way. Second is proximity, the drive to upgrade your own life or fundamentally change your family's lifestyle. Third is influence, that very specific goal of making a profound difference in someone else's life. And finally, scale, the sheer ambition to grow a massive business or make an absolute fortune. So look at these 4. Which of these reasons resonates most deeply with your personal ambitions right now? Whatever your reason is, the secret here is that it absolutely must become a burning desire. It has to be powerful enough to yank you out of bed when you're exhausted and keep you focused when you're super distracted. And listen, let it be your reason, and your reason alone. You absolutely cannot let anyone else judge you for what drives you. If you want to make a fortune, own it. If you want to change just one person's life, own that too. This brings us to a stark contrast that traps so many people with great ideas. It's the trap of external validation versus the power of extreme internal ownership. Look, if you're waiting around for other people to care about your idea or waiting for someone else to give you permission to start, well, you've kind of already lost. The true threshold of execution is crossing over into extreme internal ownership. It's that moment where you recognize that you and you alone are entirely responsible for bringing this thought into reality. It's a harsh dynamic, for sure, but a totally necessary reminder. No one else cares as much as you do about whether you make it or not. Notice the scales here. You know when you're going hard, and you know exactly when you're slacking off. If you don't take absolute responsibility for your life and your ideas, who else will? The weight of success rests entirely on that golden cube of internal ownership. Section 2, the Idea Actualization Loop. So once we have that internal ownership locked in, how do we systematically process the absolute flood of thoughts we have every single day? Well, here is the highly practical, step-by-step mechanism needed to capture that unlimited abundance of stimuli constantly broadcasting into our minds. We can break this cycle down into 4 distinct steps. Step 1 is reception, getting your mind ready and open to receive and assimilate all that daily noise. Step 2 is capture, the physical act of documenting the thought immediately. Step 3 is motivation, explicitly attaching that new idea to the burning desire or core reason we just talked about. And step 4 is ownership, taking absolute, uncompromising responsibility for following through on what you just captured. Let's focus heavily on step 2 for a second, because the physical act of capturing ideas is paramount. Think of it like grabbing a yellow highlighter and making tangible notes of those immediate aha moments. When a brilliant thought strikes, you gotta capture it before it disappears into the ether forever. Write it down, highlight it, make it physical in some way. That is the crucial first step in moving an idea from the invisible mind into the visible world. Section 3. Ordinary people, extraordinary results. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking right now. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but I'm not a genius inventor or some tech billionaire. Well, let's shift from the theory to the empirical proof. Look at this breakdown of everyday, completely ordinary people. We've got them categorized by their initial spark and their execution vehicle. For example, Deanna Jump was a kindergarten teacher who simply started selling her original lesson plans online to help out other teachers. That single spark turned into massive wealth. Or Alicia Schaffer, a mom who started selling homemade headbands online after her family store closed. She turned that really simple idea into a business generating over $1 million a year. And this brings us right to the $1 million matrix. Whether it was Sarah Blakely cutting the feet out of pantyhose to create Spanx, or Johnny Ward starting a travel blog, these are not stories of elite prodigies with massive venture funding. This is concrete, undeniable proof that solving a simple personal need or sharing existing knowledge, whether through physical products or content creation, can seamlessly translate a single spark into over $1 million. The absolute crucial point is this. If ordinary folk from entirely diverse backgrounds can do it, you can do it too. If ordinary people can do extraordinary things, so can you. That's the universal variable here. There is literally no secret DNA required to execute an idea. The only real difference between them and anyone else is that they captured their idea, attached it to a burning desire, and took extreme internal ownership of the execution. Section 4. The ecosystem of opportunity. Now, if you think those 8 individuals are rare exceptions, prepare to have your mind blown a bit. We're going to look at the sheer, overwhelming scale of abundance available in today's digital world. 38,600,000. Let that number sink in for a moment. 38,600,000. That is the exact number of Google search results documenting ideas that made ordinary people wealthy. Those 8 individuals we just looked at, they aren't even a fraction of the tip of the pyramid. Just the first page of search results is the absolute surface level. Beneath that lies over 3.8 million pages of documentation, proving that wealth generated by ordinary ideas is literally everywhere. The ecosystem of opportunities surrounding us right now is functionally limitless. It's an absolute ocean of abundance. And all of this builds to one undeniable realization: this is the greatest time to be alive in human history. Almost all the information we could ever need to succeed is available right at our fingertips. We live in an era where the friction between having a thought and building a multi-million-dollar reality has never, ever been lower. You can connect globally, build products digitally, and reach massive audiences instantly. To summarize the core philosophy of this entire explainer, just one idea is all it takes. One idea can change your entire life. One idea can change the world. You don't need 1,000 brilliant thoughts. You just need to capture, own, and execute on one. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Time is your most precious resource, hands down. You're going to have an idea today. You're going to have an idea tomorrow. What will you do with the very next idea that enters your mind? Will you let it drift away, or will you grab that yellow highlighter, take absolute ownership, and build your own extraordinary reality? The choice, as always, is entirely yours.